Let's take a look at a G-Shock release that is, honestly, it kind of had me a little torn at first, but the more I look at it, the more I try to experience it. I think I get it. I think I actually really like this one. Just for reference, this is kind of the graduation. It came from one of these guys, right? But we went full metal and we ditched the digital panel. So it's much more like a traditional watch. So much so that I think it'd be a really easy transition for those that are, watch enthusiasts for automatic or quartz that love the analog layout, but, just couldn't gravitate towards any particular G-Shock. This one is completely analog. There's no digital. There are other G-Shocks that offer that, but this one does it in a really good layout. I think it just works. So this hang tag isn't the greatest either. It's a GMC-B2100 and it's AD, I don't think that part number's right. It's AD 2ACR or something. It's on the box too. But it was sent over by Saltzmans, and typically I name drop Richard, but today we're going to be name dropping David. So I'll put his contact information down below because he's at the Cranston store. There's 2 locations for Saltzmans, and this one came from the Cranston store. So in case you didn't know about Saltzmans watches, I don't know where you've been. They're kind of a big deal. They've been supporting social media and YouTube channels regarding watches for a long time, and they've been in the business way even longer. So a great company to work with and a great company to purchase from. I've purchased many watches there myself. So let's get into this guy here. Let's talk about measurements first. I measured, now I took the measurements. To be fair, I did not measure this bump or the crown guards because that's how we measure watches. I measured from here to here at 45 millimeter. It is clearly wider here, but like I said, we don't measure crown guards and crowns and all that stuff when we're measuring them. So, and then the lug to lug, this one doesn't really have that, but I just measured the case end to end here, and it's 51 millimeter. The thickness is only 12.5, so it's on the thinner side. And then we have an 8 millimeter screw down crown. Yeah, this actually has a screw down crown, and check this out. It has, I don't know if you heard that, it has a crazy pop to it. When you unscrew it, it actually forces your finger out of the way. So in this position, it doesn't really do anything. I think when you come one out, I think you can adjust your dual time on the bottom there. So that is one really cool feature with this, is you'll keep track of your main time, and then you can keep track of your second time zone right there. And then there's an AM PM indicator right there for your, that's for your second time zone. So easy to adjust. And then if you want to adjust your regular time, you can adjust that here, forward or backward. It's also tough solar, and it is Bluetooth connectivity to your phone. And that's how you'll keep the super accurate timekeeping, is you'll just use the Bluetooth app, and that'll update. Like, I forget how many times a day, but a bunch of times a day, it'll keep it super accurate. But if you don't want to do that, because I own a few G-Shocks that also have that same type of connectivity, even my MRG, and I don't connect it to my phone. You don't have to do that. It's already a very accurate watch. So you can just set it and leave it. It'll be fine, trust me. So if you're that type of watch wearer, then yeah, don't worry about it. Don't stress about it. You don't have to do it. You can just adjust it occasionally if you need to, but if you do connect it, then it'll just update it automatically. The module in here is a 5733. If that matters to you, the water resist is 200 meter. That should matter to you because it is a G-Shock after all, and it will do whatever you ask it to do. It is full metal, all stainless steel, has a nice bracelet, simple fold over clasp, 4 micro adjust. The case back is held down by 4 screws and nicely finished. There's no rough edges. That's all like laser engraved. No problems there. And I think that's also why it's partly so thin, because if they would have did the screwed in case back, like on my MRG and some of the other squares, then it would have added to the thickness. And it's already kind of a chunky watch. It's a little bit larger than, you know, the standard 2100 for sure. You can kind of see there. Not much. It's nominal, but it's definitely a little bit larger. So you should be able to pull it off. Price point, $800 before any discounts that may or may not be applied. Name drop me at Saltzmans. See if that helps. I no guarantee it will, but give it a shot. There are some other colorways. I will say on bracelet, you can kind of see how the first link doesn't really articulate too much, but it is angled downward. If you have a much smaller wrist than me, I'm 7 1/4 inch. I'm sure you could go down to maybe 7, maybe a pretty thick 6 3/4 maybe. But other than that, it's going to overhang your wrist a little bit, I think. So keep that in mind. And then, like I said, there's definitely some other colorways. But man, it's one of those things you like. When I first looked at it, I'm like, I don't get it. Like, this one's already really good. And then they did a Bluetooth solar, you know, version of the regular 2100 and even some metal ones. But being a more traditional watch guy, even though I am a MR or a G-Shock fanboy, but I'm more of a square G-Shock fanboy. But with this guy here, I wouldn't admit it or otherwise even recognize that I missed the ticking seconds hand that this one doesn't have because it's on the screen. But because it just was never an option. But now that it's an option, yeah, I want it. I want to see my watch proving to me every second that it's running. I don't know why. It's lunacy. I get it, but I want to see that. Modes, of course, it has all the modes. You can see the mode subdial is up at the 12 o'clock position. So you hit mode, it goes to stopwatch. Stopwatch, very easy. Now you're in chronograph mode. So you hit start, and the second hand becomes a chronograph hand. You can stop it, reset it. That's your countdown timer. I like this one. Mostly because how often do you get to see a chronograph hand or seconds hand run backward, run counterclockwise? It's only in these applications that you get to see it. So I think that's fun. And then, of course, you have, what do we got there? Alarms. Pretty much just set the alarms when you sell the watch for the new owner to appreciate what time that you set it at. Anyway, there's also a nice light here, a nice LED light. But the other thing this offers that a lot of other G-Shocks, other than this one, because it's a full Lume dial, is Lume. It actually has Lume on the hour, minute, and all of the markers. Well, not really, because you can see those are like silver, but there's Lume plots on the chapter. So there's the Lume. So yeah, versus, I mean, that's pretty cool too. But not all the G-Shocks do that. So here it is next to the Tudor. Not too shabby. Of course, they could have loomed up the whole hour marker. That would have been even better. But I think it's a step in the right direction. Keep doing what you're doing, G-Shock, and we'll let you know when you get it right. Thanks for watching, guys. Big thanks to Saltzmans for sending this over, and I'll see you on the next one.